Let me tell you a story. So there is this game called Clash of Clans. The OGs already have heard of this and it's very addictive. It's not like you have to level your character, but you have an entire village at your disposal. You have to level the walls, you have to level up your barbarian king, archer queen, you have this gold elixir, dark elixir gems and all of this. There are cannons, there are archer towers, there are gold mines, there is the town hall which is the center, and you have to level each of these up until you get further and further and you unlock newer content. I had been playing this game for 7 years. 7 years. Let that sink in. By 7 years, a person could have mastered something, but I was playing a game. And then it dawned on me, why the hell am I wasting my life? And so I quit it. But the craziest thing is, even after a year and a half of quitting the game, I randomly get flashes about it. Think about it. I have not played it for 1.5 years, and yet still I get flashes. I get thoughts like, oh, will you upgrade your town hall now? What will you do with your elixir? Should you upgrade that troop right now? And so I wanted to tell you, you are not broken. You are not lazy. It's not that you can't focus. It's that the system is built to hijack you. Literally. You have been trained by these billion-dollar companies to just give your attention to them, and you think it's your fault, which it clearly is not, because on one side you have your brain which just wants safety and indulgence. On the other side, you have multi-million or even billion or even trillion-dollar corporations which want your attention because they make money from it. So which do you think is more likely to win the tug of war of your attention span? Of course, it's gonna be the companies. Part 1. The system is built to break you. Just think about all the distracting apps. The one common thing linking all of them is that they have an infinite number of content you can watch. There is no stopping point. In the reels, in the shorts, in the YouTube homepage, in TikTok, is there a stopping point? There definitely is not, because the longer you scroll, the more they earn a profit. Your attention span is literally their currency. Your time is literally their profit. And so always remember, if something is free, that means you are the product. You as a human being are not developing yourself, and rather you are wasting your time on these apps, which number 1 harms you, number 2 it benefits them. It is literally their source of income. So there was this Harvard Business Review study done, and they found that people that can't focus for 30 minutes, they literally report 40% more anxiety, depression, and get less successful in life, which is of course common, because if you can't focus for damn 30 minutes, that means you're cooked in Gen Z language. And so we need to fix it. And I want you to keep that in mind, that if your brain can't sit still, it can't win. People with less talent, people with less privileges, people with less status and more attention will definitely win at the game of life than someone with the highest privileges but the most fucked up attention span. And just a quick plug, if you literally want to kill each and every distraction and increase your focus simultaneously, then you can buy my product, the Focus course, and the link is in the description. I will be launching it in September. Now, part 2, the real reason why you can't work. By this point, you have probably heard about dopamine. And if you haven't, it's basically a neurological chemical that helps us feel good. It's basically a pleasure chemical. It is released when we are happy, and it just makes us want to crave something. It motivates us to get something. Let's say you are scrolling shorts. Each and every new short is novelty. Novelty meaning that it is something new you haven't watched yet, or it is something new content that your brain wants to see. Now that content will instill or will ignite dopamine receptors in your brain, which will make you want to watch more shorts, which in turn creates a loop that ultimately deteriorates your dopamine. The reason being, the faster you get the dopamine, the less quality it is. Back in the day, people said calories were calories, there are no good calories, there are no bad calories. But in reality, there are good calories and there are bad calories. Similarly, people used to think that there is no good dopamine and no bad dopamine. But in reality, there is actually good dopamine and bad dopamine. Bad dopamine comes from cheap sources. Cheap meaning they are very fast and very replenishable. For example, content watching, gaming. These are the things which give you highest dopamine at lowest cost. That means they are bad dopamine. and their quality is not good. Whereas the good dopamine comes from hard activities, for example, working out, smashing that task, smashing the video recording, for example, what I'm doing right now. These are the things that give you high dopamine, but they come with a higher price. A higher price meaning that you have to put more effort into actually doing the things, and then you will receive the dopamine later on. And the thing about dopamine is that the cheaper your dopamine is and the lower quality it is, ultimately your baseline will be lower, because the cheaper you get, the faster you will replenish, and slowly, just like water irrigation, the groundwater level drops. Similarly, your brain's dopamine level drops. But if you get it from high dopamine sources, then it will replenish slowly, but it will replenish in a way that it continues to grow, and the groundwater, just as the water irrigation example, just as the groundwater grows, the dopamine grows too. And so now that we have established what dopamine is, we can definitely say the more you chase dopamine and the faster dopamine that you want, the real work will feel more of a pain, because you will feel like the real work is too much of a hectic thing to do, and I would rather get dopamine from the cheap sources because it is faster, because your brain wants pleasure. Your brain can't distinguish between good dopamine and bad dopamine, but you have to distinguish between them so that you don't consume bad dopamine. This is the exact reason why scrolling self-improvement videos, seeing self-improvement shorts, they are more engaging rather than actually doing the thing which is going to improve yourself. For example, meditating, for example, gratitude journaling, for example, actually studying for the exam that you want to give. These are the things that actually give you the hard-earned dopamine, which is good in quality. But you fall in the trap of cheap dopamine because of these multi-billion-dollar corporations who have designed the UI just to attract you and waste your time and give you bad dopamine. And there is this crazy study done by UCLA, which the output is that switching tasks, basically getting cheap dopamine while you are doing something, lowers your IQ point by 10 temporarily. Like you are 10 points more stupid. If you are 100 IQ person, then you are literally 10% stupider if you switch tasks while you are trying to focus and you are trying to actually accomplish something. It literally makes you 10% stupider if your IQ is 100. So now you have to feel opportunistic, because since it makes you 10% stupider, that means if you are not doing it, if you are not task switching, if you are not indulging in bad dopamine, it will make you 10% smarter. So I have told you the system is against you. I have told you the reason why you can't focus. But what the hell is the actual fix? Well, here it is. It's a 3-step process, with the processes getting progressively a bit harder. And the first one is environment control. This is the most basic one, and this is the one you should do right now as you are watching the video. Number 1, turn off all the notifications. And I mean all the notifications, except maybe your alarm and your phone calls. Except that, literally turn off all the notifications. Number 2, turn on grayscale mode on all your devices. Grayscale mode is basically the entire screen will be black and white. You have to turn it on because colors stimulate you. Colors make your dopamine receptors engage. That is why you have to turn them off also, so that you just feel bored while you are scrolling on the device or using your computer and getting distracted. You just have to not allow any opportunity to snatch your focus. Number 3, don't multitask, as we have established previously. And number four, if you really can't control yourself, then try to use some apps like Cold Turkey, like Digital Detox, like Freedom, or whatever you can find on Play Store or Microsoft Edge or whatever you are using. Try to find blocking apps or distraction blocking apps and block the websites which are distracting you. I personally do not recommend it because it trains you like Pavlov's dog to just use an app to not get distracted. But I would rather you be someone who does not get distracted at all in the scenario. But if you're starting out, then definitely you can use this. Please do not take it on your ego, otherwise you will not make progress. If you are someone who gets distracted, install the damn apps now, otherwise you will not make progress. Do not take on your ego that, alright, he says it is for higher people, so I will just go to that step right now because I just want to fuel my ego. Don't do that. It's gonna be total waste of time and you're gonna not get any results. Now, step 2 of the action plan. It is all about time blocking of focus. What do I mean by time blocking? Time blocking means scheduling where and when and how you are going to work. And specifically the when is the most important, because Let's say you come home, you go to gym, you do this, you do that. You don't have a structured routine. That means you're not gonna be able to focus. You have to have a structured, proper routine in preferably a calendar app. You have to organize your day on the basis of the events that occur. For example, mine is from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. I have school. Then from 4 p.m. to about 6:30 p.m. I have my first subject of the day, that is like physics or chemistry, whatever. Then I do workout for 1.5 hours up until 8, and from 8 to 10 I have mathematics because mathematics takes a long time. And then from 10 to 10:30 I have my dinner, I have my wind down routine and all, and then at 10:30 I just sleep. That is a structured routine. That is something that you need in your life. And also you have to find a perfect split for your focus. It can be 90 minutes plus 20 minutes. It can be 25 minutes plus 5 minutes, which is the Pomodoro technique famously. It can be anything that you want. You have to focus for a certain amount of time, take a break, and then focus again. Don't try to focus for 6 hours straight because it will not work, and try to use progressive overload to increase your focus. For example, let's say you start with 25 minutes, 5 minutes. Then tomorrow, try 35 minutes, 5 minutes. Then next day, try 45 minutes, 10 minutes. Then try 1 hour, then 10 minutes. Like this, progressively and slowly overload the time you can focus in order to increase your attention span. And here one warning I would like to give you, that you will probably feel like tracking and shit. Personally for me, it does not work. You can try it out, but personally for me, it hasn't worked because I just get too lost in the details. So that's that. And the final step, digital detox. Here is the basic thing you need to do. You know how there was this idea of, for a particular day or for a particular amount of time, let's not look at social media, let's not scroll, let's not give ourselves bad dopamine. Well, what I want you to do is make that a lifestyle. I want you to be the guy that does not have the addiction. Most people say they scroll for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours or whatever. I want you to be the guy who says he does not scroll, who says he does not have Instagram on his phone because it's too distracting. I want you to be the guy who does not know the trends. I want you to be the guy who is detached from the social media. Train yourself with boredom because it's a literal game changer. Boredom is the biggest asset that you can have in the big 2025, because the more bored you are, the more you will feel like doing something, and the more you feel like doing something, the more you will feel like doing anything. The more you feel like doing anything, the more you will feel like doing your actual task that you have been procrastinating on. And so you have to train your boredom muscle. Focus is not just a hack, not just a tool, not just a talent, not just a gift. It's a muscle. And the muscle is called boredom, and you have to train it. The more bored you are, the more focused you will get. How do you think Newton invented calculus before he turned 26? He, Charles Darwin, Albert Einstein, these famous people from the history, how do you think they produced such great amount of work? How do you think Napoleon conquered Europe? How do you think the great personalities of the past achieved what they achieved? They did not have distractions. That is why they focused a lot. So step 1, kill distraction. Step 2, focus. And if you want no nonsense guide on how to do it, then you can buy my course with the link in the description. It will take you to the Gumroad page and you can sign up for the product. It's called the Focus course, and I will teach you exactly how to first kill all the distractions that you have, and second, increase your focus. So 2 different things in one course. Start if you haven't already.